Good afternoon. Certainly before I make any remarks, I would like to ask any members of the Fayetteville City Council to stand. These are my team members, Councilman DJ Hare, Councilman Johnny Dawkins. Can you give them a round of applause, please? What an honor and a privilege it is to be here to stand before you today with such a wonderful project. And I have to admit, standing as the second African-American mayor of our city in over 250 years, this was a difficult project for me to embrace initially. I'll give you just a brief personal story. Nearly 160 years ago, my grandmother's grandfather, Sam Melvin, was sold right at the market house. Him and his sister and a brother. And their family was split, and years later we found the descendants of his brother, but never found the descendants of his sister. So this is a personal experience for me, and as I talked to the board over the last few council sessions, as it was time for us to either support this project or to give our reservations, I was very candid with the board members and said, listen, Civil War is not a pleasant time for me and my community and for my family personally. But it's important that we make sure, they said, well, listen, this is about a lot more than the Civil War. This History Center will tell this story and that story. And I said, well, it's important that you make sure that you communicate that. And the addition of the Reconstruction not only talks about the Civil War, which divided us, it talked about the period that we were put back together. And so as we look at this museum today, as we turn the page, as we see that by the grace of God, a lot of things are possible, that I stand here, particularly on the shoulders of a lot of people and a lot of stories that will be told in this museum. It's important for us to know that after today, after this wonderful ceremony, we have a lot of work to do. Me and my colleagues on council and the commission and the state representatives have the obligation to educate our community, to educate our constituents, to let them know that this is something that will bring us together, not to increase our divide. And so today, I'm happy that we're here today. I'm happy at this point. I had a great conversation with the education governor, Governor Hunt, who said, listen, we're going to tell the story about the Reconstruction. A lot of facilities talk about the Civil War, but this will be different for the Reconstruction. So I look forward to the putting back together and let them know that we're one city and one Fayetteville. God bless you. Thank you.